Anyone else find it weird that news tubers like myself, Kyo, and False all haven't made any videos in the past 2 days? Weird. Let's fix that. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is apparently Bao got mass reported on Twitter, so certain tweets with certain images have warnings in them. So apparently she's taking this time to just sign out for the rest of the year, for the rest of December, and take a break and cure herself of the big sad. Even though it's unfortunate that she got mass reported, I'm sure that's frustrating. I'm sure we can all use a break from Twitter every once in a while. God knows I'd love to if it wasn't literally my job. The next thing that I wanted to talk about isn't technically news, but it's something that I absolutely want to talk about. And that's that this maniac washed his rice with dish soap. It's actually kind of hilarious.
The dish soap. So you just got to make sure you pour enough of this into the rice. Take the soap and the rice, and you're just going to stir it like this with the sponge. So clean, there's still some soap in it. I'm gonna just eat it and let you know how it tastes.
Go watch the full video on Kyo's channel. It's genuinely hilarious. The next thing that I wanted to mention is apparently Zaion's debut 2.0 stream is not currently available. It seems that she has privated that stream, and there are rumors going around as to why that might be. The leading theory, at least according to a couple of people on Reddit, is that it's probably due to the fact that she was talking about ROM hacking, which is basically, it's any video game where you can take the original file and then modify it and then play that modified version on an emulator. And because emulating video games is kind of a legal gray area, there's a good chance that Nijisanji asked her to private the video because it's probably not the best idea to admit to doing something that might be illegal. But if you ask me, ROM hacking is based, and I would not be embarrassed for it. And since I'm an indie and I don't have to bow to a corporate overlord, I will gladly tell you all that I have emulated the shit out of some video games. There's no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism. Pirate away! Yo ho, me mateys! The next thing I want to talk about is just an interesting point that a YouTuber named, I'm not sure if that's Sebe, I believe. He basically made an entire video centered around the idea that Nijisanji added Meloco, who speaks English as a second language, to a Niji EN branch instead of a Niji JP branch, and how that's actually genius because there's a lot of weebs who think it's really cute to watch Japanese girls struggle with English, and how that's actually kind of a based and ultra smart business tactical decision. I don't know if it's necessarily a tactical business decision or if they just really like that talent and wanted to add her to the roster as soon as possible, and they happen to be doing EN auditions at the time instead of JP auditions. Could be a coincidence, could be tactical genius. Let me know down in the comments below whether or not you think this was big brain play or not. Also go watch the video, it's kind of an interesting watch. You make some interesting points. The next community discussion that I wanted to talk about is the idea of VShonen, which anyone who's followed VShojo for a while knows that a lot of people have talked about scooping up a bunch of male indie VTubers and throwing them into a male branch of VShojo. Now, what I find particularly interesting is the choices that they've made for VShonen, and I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot all these down real quick. Number one, Booby very rarely streams. He's got a lot of other shit going on. I don't think he would really be a good fit for a corpo. Lord Aethelstan might be a good choice. I mean, Nyanners is already in VShojo and he's dating Nyanners, so I don't know, I feel like that could fit. As far as Taka, I feel like Takahata's bar, like the Weary 101, is almost like a pseudo corpo already. Like he's already got his own separate thing, his own separate community. I don't think he would necessarily be a good fit just hopping on to another community that he's not already a part of. And that's the same with Mim too. Like Taka and Mim are already part of their own community. Just grabbing them because they're popular and putting them in a community that they're not otherwise in doesn't really make sense to me. And then False ID is a news VTuber. I've never heard of a corpo add a news VTuber to their roster because it really doesn't make sense. As a news VTuber myself, it really doesn't make sense for me to join a big corpo in my current persona with my current content, because I don't really make live streams, and when I do, they're not really corpo entertainment and gaming live streams. I'm talking about VTubing in the community. It doesn't really fit the vibe of the traditional corpo VTuber model. But aside from this person's specific picks, I do think it would be interesting to have a VShonen lineup. And again, this isn't really news technically, it's just something that I found really fun. Someone made this fan art of a bunch of HoloLive VTubers in what has to be the most chaotic fan art I've ever seen in my entire life. I have nothing to say about this other than I fucking love it. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do a reaction to like art and stuff, because I love the art in this community and I never get a chance to talk about it. Let me know. And in Twitter news, that there are actually two things that I wanted to talk about because I find them super interesting. And that's the fact that apparently the word lolly is actually banned on Twitter right now. So if you go to the search bar and type in lolly, it doesn't give you a result. That is a banned search query. Invalid search query. Please try a different one. Personally, I think this is hilarious. Anyone who searches for lolly art on Twitter is probably so pissed. Personally, I don't really care, but I'm confident people in the comments down below are gonna have a lot of opinions about it. And the last piece of news I wanted to cover is apparently Twitter is going to increase its character limit from 280 characters to 4,000. Now, don't get me wrong, I have been wanting a longer character limit on tweets since the first day I got on Twitter and found out that I couldn't type out a full, complete thought, and I'm so tired of doing like these 5-tweet threads like, nah! So don't get me wrong, bumping the character limit from 280 to say like 500 or so, probably a great idea. 4,000? That is a crazy number that is probably going to lead to massive walls of text on the timeline. I feel like 4,000 is too many, and it seems I'm not alone in thinking that 4,000 characters is way too many. People are just not gonna read that much. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Bye guys!